It is amazing to me how many capable, competent men are putting the health and wellness of their marriage in the hands of a marriage counselor. Brother, nobody is more capable than you of working through your marital issues. You know more about your wife than anybody does. 10, 20, 30 years with your wife. And you're gonna put the health, wellness, and success and the healing of your marriage in somebody else's hands and expect that somebody else is going to facilitate something that you're more than capable of creating inside your life? Well, you know, my wife won't do the work and she just won't listen to me. Brother, when people like what they see, they're more likely to listen to what you say. You are more than capable. You're more than capable of creating breakthrough inside your life. And a lot of times, all that happens inside marriage counseling is it just triangulates the dynamic with you and your wife, and it drives a wedge between you two because you're involving a third party. You know, if you learn about your wife's triggers, if you did reconnaissance on her past, if you learned and understood why you ended up in the situation that you did, you would be able to solve it. See, most men can't solve it because they've exhausted a strategy. They've exhausted every single thing that they've ever tried. And so they get to the brink, right? The end of what they've tried, and they become exhausted. And then they develop an attitude of apathy and indifference, and they start to tolerate the dysfunction. And then they expect that the marriage is going to be healed by somebody outside of the marriage. Brother, step back from that. That is insanity. Literally. Do you know how much time it takes to fill somebody in on that story? You know how much time it takes to really help you guys get back into a collaborative state when both of you are trying to work through independent issues aside from the marriage? Because you don't have marital problems. You have personal problems that affect the marriage. Both of you do. The best thing you could ever do is step into your own personal development process to solve your marital issues. The best thing you could ever do is become a better version of you, the man that you admire, the man that you aspire to be. Stop putting the health and success of your marriage in somebody else's hands. Stop expecting that somebody else is going to be able to facilitate something for you and your wife that you're more than capable of creating. Brother, if you got yourself to where you're at, you can get yourself out of where you're at. But see, the only reason that you keep putting off that responsibility for your wife to work with somebody else is because you haven't illuminated the blind spots. You haven't seen the areas that need to be healed. You haven't seen the areas that need to change because you're tired. And I talk to thousands of men every single year. And these men are in the same spot of exhaustion and fatigue. And what happens in the exhaustion and the fatigue is they just throw up their hands and they become indifferent to the problem. And they start to put that responsibility off onto their wife. Well, you know, it's just my wife. Thinking as though my wife is the primary problem. And the only reason that we do that, the only reason we put the responsibility or we blame somebody else is because that's our ego's natural defense mechanism when we've exhausted all strategies. But my question for you is this: how could you sleep at night with a clear conscience knowing that you haven't done everything you could to try and make it work? When you really search in your heart of hearts, like when you really look inside, have you done everything that you can to solve this, to save your marriage, to reconcile? Have you? Because a lot of times, a lot of guys say, yeah, I have, Tim, I've done this, this, and this. And when we peel back the curtain, what do we find? They haven't really done much. They've attempted quick Band-Aid solutions, and they really haven't done any work on themselves. You are capable of helping your wife heal. You are capable of helping your wife overcome triggers. You are capable of helping your wife regulate her emotions. You are capable of creating safety and security in your marriage. You are capable. You are competent. You are the common denominator, bro. You are. Not some third party, not some foreign person outside the marriage who doesn't understand the dynamic. It's you. And that's the best part about the Total Breakthrough Academy, is empowering men to know that I can do this. If I can create a business, if I can solve amazingly hard problems to solve, what makes me think I can't create an amazing marriage that I've destroyed? Wake up. It's on you, man. And you are more than capable, because you have two choices: either walk away or remain in it. And if you're deciding to remain in it, then you're either going to continue down the path that you're on to get more of what you've already had, which is just the definition of insanity, or you're going to implement a strategy that works. You're going to step in with some other men and get some support. You're going to get some feedback. You're going to illuminate those blind spots. You're going to do that awareness blueprint. Get clear about your emotional territory, your hidden triggers, the things that are showing up in the marriage without your permission. You're going to get the breakthrough. And guess what? When you get that breakthrough, you get to stand in victory, knowing what? That you were capable the whole entire time, but you just didn't believe in yourself.